Hello Dreamers, welcome to Dear Gameloft series, part 4, where we discuss the most requested features from our community for Disney Dreamlight Valley. And I keep thinking that this is going to be the last part this week, but the amount of suggestions you guys have been posting in our Dear Gameloft Discord channel and our server is absolutely insane. And there is definitely going to be part 5 at the very least. But today we're going to take a look at 15 more features requested by our community that I think would be a great addition to the game. Thank you so much for watching and contributing your amazing ideas. All of these ideas are going to be compiled and sent to Gameloft as soon as the series is finished, most likely around the time of the next free update, so we see if any of them are implemented in the update itself. Keep them coming. I would love to have this series go to 10 parts if possible, because it's a lot of fun seeing what our community can come up with. Subscribe for more Disney Dreamlight Valley, and let's jump right into it. So here's a list of a couple ideas. First of all, thank you. Thank you for that, Maleficent. Displaying fishes in Aquarium. This is something that Palia does, and I think it's a very cool feature. It's kind of cool to be able to display the fishes that you catch inside the aquarium that you craft. That would add potentially a whole new item that we can decorate with and make it so versatile by creating aquariums where we can have multiple fishes swimming in as decoration. I think that would be a really cool feature. Then ability to craft some of the paths and fences that we have at Storybook Vale, which we still don't, which we already talked about briefly, but more importantly, flower arrangements. There is not many flower arrangements from Storybook Vale at all. We have a lot of flower arrangements from our valley. Then we have quite a few from Ancient Landing. I mean, from Eternity Isle. And then, is there even any flower arrangements from Storybook Vale? Maybe 1 or 2, I don't even remember right now. But those flower arrangements are usually some of the coolest items to decorate with. So I feel like we should have at least 15 to 20 more options with different flower arrangements. Ideally, I would love something like a gardening table that's going to allow us to create our own flower arrangements, when we can have a round or rectangular flower bed, and we could add our own flowers and then basically just craft them using the same flowers. It would be absolutely perfect. Let us have more than 5 mannequins in a room and display them outside. Absolutely agree. I feel like mannequins outside would be such a game-changing feature for DreamSnaps. Ability to add more characters that are stationary and dress them in anything we want could be huge for getting our ideas, putting them to life with the use of mannequins. Right now, if you have an idea for mannequins, you have to do it indoors, and you only can use 5. I wanted to make a whole army of people in armor just marching for the last Dream Snap, but I wasn't able to do this because of these restrictions. And Biome presets. I think it's an amazing idea. This would kind of solve an issue with not having enough space to decorate if we could just get a whole biome and just save it as a preset, and then build something else here. For example, that's going to be very popular to do for holidays. And then when we want to put it back to our original view, we can just click one button and restore the entire biome. Now, I can see why this could potentially be hard to implement, because somehow it needs to make sure that every item that you had in your biome when you saved it is available to be placed again. For example, if you run out of something that was initially in the biome, then it's not going to be able to restore it, but maybe then it can just show you the list of items that you need to obtain to be able to use the preset again. I think it's totally doable. Maybe when you save it, it just should save with every single item in it. So those items don't just go back into your inventory, they just basically get saved inside a preset. So when you restore it, it just puts it back, and whatever was in there, it just saves it to another preset or just resets it. I don't know. I feel like there's something we can do there. Please stop giving us seeds when removing night thorns. Coal, coins, dream shards, they're fine, but please stop the seeds. I could not agree more. Seeds have been driving me insane. Literally, I have to just sell them or put them in my storage. There is no use. If you ever want to plant something, you're gonna go to either your chest or just to the Biome Goofy stall and buy the seeds that you want. There is no need for the seeds to drop from Night Thorns. Even if you are the very beginner player, it's still not helpful. The seeds cost tiniest amounts of coins. And speaking of coins, the coins that drop from duplicate memories, the coins that drop from Night Thorns, it's like usually 5 to 20 coins. It literally means nothing. Even if it's your day one, you can, like, 5 to 20 coins literally mean nothing. I feel like they should either scale the amount of coins based on how far you are in the story, or remove the coins whatsoever and maybe have like a tiny chance to drop moonstones. If you had like 1% chance every time you drop coins to drop certain amount of moonstones, I feel like it would feel much more rewarding. Having more than 4 ancient gardeners. My god, that is... When we initially got the gardeners, I was ecstatic. I actually built an entire system. Let me show you. It was an Eternity Isle in the docks, in that elevated area. I built a whole farm, and I was working on a very efficient design on how to plant things and harvest them. There is the remnants of it here. I basically covered most of the things just so we can only drop the items in the middle. It's a mess right now, but initially this system was all the way through and used 6 gardeners. This way it would water it and we would harvest it manually with a villager so we could make lots of money. But what I came to discover is that you can only have 4 gardeners per biome. If you place more than that, they simply are not going to work. They will never activate, and it was devastating to me. I feel like we should be able to do more than 4 gardeners, because we can still do them in multiple biomes. You can have 4 per biome. Instead of limiting them per biome, I wish they would limit it per the entire DLC, per the entire map. So let's say maybe 16 per DLC. I feel like that's fair. This way we can put all of them in one spot so we have a nice giant field, and I think it's gonna make things much easier. We have a huge amount limit for cookers. I think it's like 8. We can place 8 cookers, and nobody needs to place 8 cookers running in the same biome at the same time. But 8 gardeners, at least 8, just double it. I think it's gonna be very, very helpful. Alternative ways to get wrought iron. I have spent hours doing Remy's quest to try to get enough iron to craft those beautiful fences. This is one of the coolest fences in the entire game. I use it everywhere. It's so beautiful, but it's so difficult to get iron to get it. Sure, you can do the quests every day and you can get decent amount, but what if you need more? And also, what if you don't like doing Remy's quests? I feel like it would be nice if we had alternative way to get this iron. Potentially edit in rotation to Christoph's stall, maybe some different type of quest to do it. I don't know, there's lots of possibilities, but we all need a lot of it, so it only makes sense if we could get a lot of it. Maybe we can convert it from regular iron. Maybe 2 regular iron ingots can convert into 1 wrought iron ingot. I think it's fair. Being able to change the size of objects and houses would be good. Mirabelle's house, for example, is far too big. I personally don't have a problem with Mirabelle's house, but I do agree that it would be nice to be able to scale some objects up or down, some houses to make bigger, some houses to make smaller, and not just houses, even the regular items. What if I want to have this tree that is a little bit smaller, or what if I wanted to make a ginormous tree in the middle of my island? Be able to scale walls, plants, literally anything to make sure it fits in our world the best way possible, and also just give us more creativity, creative ways to use the items. It would be so cool if we could literally just have any item at any size, or at least have a range that we can scale the size in. And that will allow for much more creativity in dream snaps and in decorating. The same items could be used in so many different ways. I absolutely think this should be added. DreamSnap photo size and voting. Now, this is interesting because I haven't actually realized that this is how the things work. But for example, when we have a regular landscape shot and a vertical shot in voting, this is how they're displayed. They are set to the same height, but the bigger shot, the one that's more horizontal, is always going to take more space. And this is not even the worst it can get. Imagine if it's one of the widescreen shots that are even wider than that. Then the other shots, especially if they're not horizontal themselves, they're going to be microscopic. And if somebody just votes randomly or votes very fast, the chances of them clicking on the bigger image is much higher. It's much more difficult for smaller images to compete against bigger images if the size difference is that big. So instead, just having division in the middle and each image just take as much available space as it can on the half of the screen could make things much more fair. It would make this image a little bit bigger and this image a little bit smaller, making them much more comparable. And the clicking area for each is going to be about the same because the divide is going to be right in the middle. So it's going to eliminate random voters' high preference towards bigger images. For example, just like we have in Star Snaps on Dreamer's Portal. By the way, if you haven't participated in this week's challenge yet, now is a good time. No matter what the size of the image is, the voting box is the same no matter what the size of the actual image is. It just fills in the rest with like a blurred version of the image. So each image gets the same amount of real estate on the screen, which I think makes voting much more fair. Assign player homes as villager hangouts. Now, this is a very interesting idea. I would love the player homes to be more functional. One way I would love to see them being used is if we could assign 1 or 2 villagers to a premium shop house or a room in our house, and then if searching for them, they could always find them there. It could be a way to give Pumbaa and Timon, Cogsworth and Lumiere their own room and make our houses and rooms feel more empty. I love this. I think that this would be a great feature for 2 reasons. Number one, it would be so much easier to find characters. If you have, for example, if you made a bedroom for a certain character in your house and then assign it to it, whenever you go into that room, the character will already be inside. I think it's a great way to feel your houses feel more alive, to be able to have rooms assigned to characters, especially because a lot of us use decorate rooms for certain characters. So this feature would actually kill so many birds with one stone, and it's gonna make our houses feel a little bit empty because we don't need, like, my character doesn't need all of these houses for themselves. I would love to feel like when I enter some house, I'm visiting another character that I decorated this house for. I love this feature a lot. I feel like Gameloft should definitely do something like this. Let's talk about Scrooge Store. Now, you can make a whole video just talking about how the Scrooge Store can be improved, and I probably will at some point, but a few good ideas that I like is ability to prioritize unowned items in Scrooge Store. And when I say prioritize, I don't mean that we should be guaranteed to get a new item, but I feel like there should be some kind of a pity system. I already talked about it in the past. If somebody doesn't get a new item in a Scrooge Store, each next day you don't get a new item, the chances of getting a new item should go up. So it shouldn't be possible to go, let's say, a whole week without finding a single new item, especially if the new items are still available that we don't have. So each day we get unlucky, our chances to get a new item should increase. And at the same note, I love the idea of prioritizing DLC items in DLC stores. I actually haven't checked my... Wow, wait a second. So last video, I actually found my elegant vents in the shop during recording part 3 of this series. So I am curious if we're gonna get that beautiful white trees. But I completely agree. I feel like the DLC store should completely prioritize the DLC exclusive items. For example, items that can only spawn in Storybook Vale shop, they should have much higher chance of appearing than regular stock that appears in all other stores. Come on. Come on, let's do 2 for 2. Give me! No! No new item. It's fine. This is a really cool suggestion. In furniture mode as well as in Scrooge store, it would be nice to know where a certain item is located. We have so many items, I forget where I put them, just like my house keys. I can so relate to this because I have lost my Bing Bong plushie because we can only have one of those, and I put it in one of my houses. So sometimes, instead of buying more things, it would be cool if we could go to our furniture mode or Scrooge shop or collection anywhere, and then just hover on the item and click and do something like highlight. And then once the item is highlighted, we go to the map, and it should literally show a marker where every item is located. If it's inside the house, you can highlight the house. If it's just sitting out there, you can highlight it in the world. I think this would be a very useful feature when sometimes you forget where you place a certain item. Ability to put down however many of your house skins as you want, and to not limiting it to 2, one being in the base, one in order to duplicate. So for instance, if we want to create a desert of the cactus house skin, I could have a village of them if I wanted to. I wanted this feature for a long time. Sometimes you just want to make a build that requires a lot of similar houses. And this would be so perfect combined with another feature we talked about today, to be able to scale items. So imagine we could make an entire city block using all of the city-looking buildings. Like we have the Mike's dormitory, we have Remy's house, we have all of these cafes. We could make them look different by having them in different sizes. Also, I'm sure everybody wants to scale down Remy's apartment building. It just doesn't make sense for him to need such a big thing. But that would allow us to use basically every house skin multiple times in different sizes and make it look like a completely different house. I absolutely would love to see this feature. I just found a chest. That's convenient. Ability to vote for dream snaps from your phone, just like we do for star snaps. That would be so cool. I think this would increase the amount of voting people do by a lot. And also, I feel like if we're gonna incentivize people to vote, we should give them more incentive to do so. So not just make it easier to vote by being able to access voting dream snaps from your phone, maybe log in with your Gameloft account to Gameloft website, and then just be able to vote from there. But also, if we could figure out a way to incentivize people without making it to the point where people just gonna do it randomly more to just gain the rewards. So if you have any ideas, what would be a good way to incentivize people to vote, but only those who actually take their time to vote and actually care about voting, I would love to hear it, because just simply increasing more Moonstones rewards, I feel like it's just gonna make the voting even more random. We need a nice way to make it fair and still feeling like you're being rewarded for doing so. Ability to select villager house and apply any of the player house skins to them. That would be cool. We were talking about selling different house skins for existing villager houses, but this would be cool if we could replace the default skin with our own skin, the one of the shops that we got from the premium shop or Star Path, if we feel like it matches the character and it fits your build much more. I think this would be a cool idea. Even cooler, and this is like completely wishful thinking, if we could customize their house skins. So not just be able to apply skins that we already have, but have something like Touch of Magic, but for house skins. So we could literally change the colors, the shapes for the existing houses. Basically like in Sims, to just design the outdoor of the house. That would be really cool. Some items still don't adjust their ground texture to the ground of the biome. For example, colorful surfboards, engraved stone partition, playful companion, pinwheel. Also, some houses still don't do this. For example, Merlin's house has rocks with grass that do not change to adjust to biome. That is absolutely true. These rocks with grass on Merlin's house do not adjust to the grass color of the biome it's in. If you place it in Frosted Heights, it's still gonna have green grass. A lot of new houses, pretty much all the new items, definitely adjust to the terrain underneath. You can literally see it when you move it, taking the terrain below. So it's definitely possible. They just need to, once again, go through all the old items that have this issue and fix it. Now, I know it doesn't make sense to place surfboards outside of the beach, but if somebody wanted for some reason, there should be no reason for this not to take the look of grass. And the last one for today, and this one is... I honestly feel like we talked about it, but I don't 100% remember, but this is a big issue where we want to be able to smoothly transition from going straight to going diagonally. Right now, it just breaks up the fence. It shouldn't be impossible to be able to give us a smooth fence. I've ran into this issue so many times. It bothered me in a lot of my designs, so I had to improvise. Basically, it's nearly impossible to get a good look having the fence going at an angle like this. You have to choose either go straight or diagonal to begin with, but you can never combine them in a nice looking way, so I would love for it to get fixed. Alright guys, at this point, these are probably even more than 15. We have so many suggestions. I started including bonus ones in every one of these videos because we just have so many features. Literally, we are up to... This is part 4, so we have at least 60 features already discussed that were suggested by our community, and there is more for at least 1 or 2 more videos. And I feel like this list is just going to keep going and going. This is going to be an ongoing series on this channel. Probably going to take a break from it for a week or 2 because of the DLC coming out and all of that fun stuff. Actually, I don't even know when this video is going to go live. I'm kind of preparing it to go live the day before DLC comes out, in case they don't post patch notes. But if they do post patch notes, that's going to be the video that's going to go live. But anyway, I'm excited to see what other features you guys come up with for the future of Disney Dreamlight Valley, and I do hope we're going to see most of them at some point in the future of the game. Thank you for watching, subscribe for more, and take care.
Oh, nice day we're having, isn't it?
Oh, it's wonderful. Woohoo!
Amazing. Gotta tell you, it is really beautiful here. Hey, nice to see you.
Oh, hello.
Are you seeing this?